Will slapping Paw Patrol characters on a powdered hydration product be enough to drive success for SOS hydration in the public markets? Okay, so SOS Hydration is more than just a company that utilizes entertainment IP from Paw Patrol. It has a strong founder market fit that screams authenticity. SOS Hydration was founded in May 2013 by brothers and elite track athletes James and Tom Mayo and James's wife, who is a licensed medical doctor. The ideation on the product goes back almost a decade prior to that when Tom became severely dehydrated during a pre Olympic race in Southern Europe. Upon his return to the UK, Tom and James discussed the whys and kind of what ifs that happened in that race, settling on poor preparation and the lack of decent retail sports hydration products on the market. It was here that the brothers vowed to embark on a lifelong quest for a suitable alternative to the mass market sugary sports drinks. They began researching and mixing different products together, from the classic flat Coke and salts mix used by athletes in the past to mixing 1 part orange juice to 4 parts water and a pinch of salt. However, no one experiment seemed to offer a complete solution that could help active individuals or solve the high level performance hydration requirements. That's when, some years later in 2011, by pure chance, a seminal moment happened in Tom's living room. While chatting about the quest to find a better hydration solution for athletes, James turned on the news. It was reporting the drought in East Africa and the critical issue of dehydration in children. It was this kind of eureka moment that James's wife turned their attention to begin the journey using medical formulas that combat extreme dehydration in disaster zones and ER departments. The founders used the baseline formula from the World Health Organization, developed and labeled as an oral rehydration solution. It then created a proprietary formulation that improves on that World Health Organization's oral rehydration solution formula by lowering the sugar content, optimizing the added electrolytes for active lifestyles, and including minerals like zinc and magnesium. SOS Hydration started out strong within kind of the beverage industry media circles, being named a finalist in BevNet Live 2013, voted in the top 3 best new sports drinks of 2014 at the Beverage Innovation Awards, and Best New Product at the 2014 ECRM Sports and Nutrition Conference. This, as it more times than not does in the beverage industry, didn't necessarily equate to a huge sales boost as far as I could at least tell from the financial reports. Despite being in market for 5 years, SOS Hydration only had revenues of around $900,000 in 2018. With revenue in 2021 reaching $3.7 million, dollars, what caused that acceleration of growth over the last 3 years? I think a major reason could be the Liquid IV effect, or at least what I dub as the Liquid IV effect. The two companies seemed to stumble on the market need at kind of the same time. Liquid IV launched only a few months before SOS Hydration. In January 2015, SOS Hydration leadership said in a press release, people are beginning to realize the importance of staying properly hydrated. I think they kind of knew something was happening. So did Liquid IV, and kind of these two companies shared a similar product vision, and SOS Hydration even called themselves the drinkable IV in the early years. This likely is as close as these two companies ever got to being head to head competitors, though. That's because Liquid IV quickly rose to superstar status in the functional CPG industry. They made the powdered hydration category cool and quickly rose revenue to $100 million dollars by 2019. That led to a bunch of people being extremely attracted to Liquid IV, including Unilever, which acquired the company in late 2020 for an undisclosed amount. While it's hard to quantify just how much the Liquid IV effect helped SOS hydration, there's no denying that higher tides in the category raised all boats. SOS Hydration is now available in 12,000 retail locations, including approximately 6,900 CVS locations, 1,000 of which sell the ready to drink products, and 4,000 of the Walmart US locations. 58% of SOS Hydration revenue is generated from those two large retail partners in 2021. And SOS Hydration has also expanded its presence online through its direct to consumer website, also Amazon, Target.com, Walmart.com, and online sales now represent 15.5% of its total revenue in 2021. Despite the powder SKUs making up 97.5% of sales volume, it's not hard to imagine why SOS Hydration's gross margins are only 31.1% with that heavily weighted sales channel mix. While increases in volume would definitely result in cost savings from economies of scale, SOS Hydration, at least in my opinion, will be hard pressed to get that gross margin number past the 40%, with them focusing on growing ready to drink offerings, focusing on growing large retail placements, working on additional product innovations that include protein, which is a value added element of a commodity. And similarly, SOS Hydration is struggling to be profitable from an operational perspective. In 2021, the company had a $6.8 million operating loss. That means they basically spent about $3 to make $1 back. It's not really a good mathematics on that one. That ratio, though, improves a bit if we consider the professional fees, aka the non cash stock based compensation associated with the upcoming IPO. But regardless, it's never good to see a company positioned within a high margin subcategory of the functional CPG industry struggling to be profitable. So, where does SOS Hydration improve its operating leverage and get further market momentum? I personally don't think it's in the typical kind of adult ready to drink hydration and immunity beverages. That format is extremely competitive with Gatorade, Powerade, and Body Armor commanding most of the entire market. I don't care what your product differentiation strategies are within these kind of ready to drink hydration products. It would require any company, including SOS Hydration, to spend many millions of dollars just to get even the smallest fraction of the market share. I think it's through leaning heavily into being a kid friendly, better for you brand where the most value is for SOS Hydration. The SOS Kids provides the company with a point of entry to every household with kids. SOS Kids was released in all US Walmart locations during the 2021 quarter three. That means we don't have a huge read on how that's performing yet, but overall, the SOS Kids has less stiff competition in terms of that better for you juice like products. The beverage industry overall has really always neglected the need for quality and healthy hydration products for kids. To better compete with Honest Kids or maybe some of the conventional products like Capri Sun, SOS Hydration might be rewarded to direct its RTD budget to create small juice packs or multi serving juice bottles within the SOS Kids. Now, I'm not saying they should go all in on this Paw Patrol license, but I do think that they need to work extremely hard at extending that agreement beyond its current 2023 Q1 expiration with Viacom. I believe as placement expands for the SOS Kids product line, complementary growth could occur with retail partners in the other SOS Hydration products. To me, the SOS Kids is a retail Trojan horse. Just want to end on some quick final thoughts. As many of you know, I don't give stock recommendations, price estimates, or anything like that. So I apologize to anyone that is new to my content looking to get rich quick from some random dude that says something about an upcoming IPO on social media. At the time of this recording, though, I couldn't find any details on the exact IPO date, but it is expected to be soon, soon being, in my mind, probably in the next 30 days. And it will trade under the stock ticker SOSH on the NASDAQ exchange. If you end up jumping on the SOS hydration train, let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. If you did, consider hitting that like button to support me. Also help me get to my short-term goal of reaching 2,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to see you join me on this journey, but we need to fix the fact that slightly less than 80% of you that are watching this YouTube video right now are not subscribed to my channel, and that makes me extremely sad. But I do just want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.